Hello and good afternoon to everyone who's joined me so far. My name is Trista San Augustine and I'll be hosting today's session. We're just going to allow a few more minutes to let everybody join and then I will get started shortly.
If you can please put it in the chat. ID.
Okay, everyone, good afternoon. I'd like to go ahead and get started, although I see people are still joining. So those who are here with me, welcome. And those who are continuing to join, not missing much at the beginning here. I think the most important part of this session will be towards the middle and end, and then we'll open up some questions at the end to allow some time for questions. And so a quick introduction. My name is Trista San Augustine.
Again?
I'm the director of our one-stop here at Santa Clara University. And just a couple housekeeping. For the next 30 minutes, we'll be in this presentation. And I encourage questions. If you don't mind putting questions as I go through a quick presentation here. If you do have questions, you're welcome to jot them down and ask them at the end of the presentation, or please feel free to add them to the chat and I will review those at the end of the presentation. So we'll probably go through the presentation for about 15, 20 minutes, and then we'll have another 10 minutes or so for questions. So in the meantime, I would just ask that everyone please mute themselves so that there's not undue noise throughout the presentation. And then please feel free to unmute once we start questions. Raise your hand, put your questions in the chat, or just unmute and feel free to ask away. So without further ado here, let's go ahead and get started. So welcome. I'm assuming most everyone here are parents, although students are definitely welcome to join as well. This presentation is about money. So parents are generally a bit more interested than students, but we welcome all families to our one-stop bursar office presentation, where I'm going to be going over student billing, payment deadline, online payment services, some estimated costs, and a little bit more. So for those who are just joining, I would just ask that you go ahead and mute yourselves, and then we'll ask some questions at the end. So feel free to jot them down or put them in the chat. Just an overview. I'll talk just for a minute about our bursar office and our one-stop office, and then talk quickly about FERPA, a federal regulation called FERPA, and also authorized payers, which is an option for parents to have their own username and password to get into our billing site. We'll go over some estimated costs and take a look at a sample bill and talk about when to pay and how to pay. Our bursar's office is sort of a behind the scenes office that does everything related to billing. So our bursar's office staff are creating billing statements, making sure our online portal, payment portal is up and running. They're organizing our payment plans, making sure that charges that come our way from our housing department or from our health center and other departments on campus are reflecting correctly on your billing statement. And their website has all dates and deadlines and costs, and that's here at the bottom. scu.edu/bursar has everything you need to know about money, how to pay, when to pay, what to pay, and so on. Our one-stop office is the office that I work in. Again, my name is Trista San Augustine. I'm the director of our one-stop office. And our office serves as sort of the customer service of these critical offices, our bursar's office, financial aid office, and office of the registrar. So anything related to money and registration, our one-stop office staff can help. Many of you may have already been communicating with our office with financial aid related questions. Our email here is onestop@scu.edu. That's where any financial aid questions can be sent. Our phone number is here as well. We can answer any financial aid related questions, appeal related questions. And then once our students are here, have made their deposit, have registered for classes, and then will receive a billing statement during the month of August. That's when we get into more of the billing related questions. And for those who have been on campus, maybe have taken a campus tour, we are located in the same building as our undergraduate admission office, the Admission and Enrollment Services building. We are on the first floor. And we will take care of all of the students' financial and registration needs throughout the 4 years that they were here. FERPA is a federal regulation called the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act. This is a law that states that students, once they're enrolled in classes in higher education, we can no longer provide information to any third party except for the student, unless the student authorizes us to do so. So any university that your student ends up going to, whether it's Santa Clara or somewhere else, you will hear about FERPA. And so we'll talk more about the FERPA regulations and the FERPA release, which is the student letting us know that, hey, it's okay to talk to my mom or dad or any other family members or anyone who will be helping with the finances throughout a student's time in college. And then an authorized payer is specific to Santa Clara University. This is access that the student also needs to provide to anyone who is interested in viewing billing statements and paying for costs online. And all of the FERPA release and the authorized payer setup happen after May 1st, after the deposit is made and after students are enrolled in classes over the summer. So here we have some 2022, 2023 costs for Santa Clara University. We call ourselves a quarter school. We have 3 terms, fall, winter, and spring. And then an optional term is our summer term. And so our annual tuition cost for fall, winter, and spring is $56,880. And that comes out to a per term, fall, winter, and spring cost of $18,960 per term. That is for 12 units, which is considered full-time or more. So at Santa Clara University, we charge a flat rate of $18,960 per quarter for 12 units or more. So if a student takes more than 12 units, anything over 12 is essentially free, as it should be because it's expensive enough for 12 units. So any student that is enrolled less than 12 units is very rare. First of all, we pride ourselves on getting students in and out in 4 years, which means that students need to be full-time every term. But there are some occasions where a student might be enrolled less than 12 units, maybe the last term of their senior year where they don't need as many units to graduate. They will be charged the per unit rate as opposed to the flat rate of $18,960. Tuition and room and board do go up every fall term, every year at the beginning of the academic year by a small percentage. I think from this year to next year, the increase was about 3.5%. Our housing room and board rates are on our housing website, scu.edu/living. When we go over estimated costs in a couple minutes, I will use the standard room and board rate. So that's just a standard double where a student has 1 roommate and a basic meal plan. And then there are many other types of housing residence halls available. Students have a residency 2-year residency requirement. So our first-year students and sophomores live on campus. We do not have a lot of other random fees. We have a university enhancement fee of $654 per year. That is sort of a student activities fee. We divide it by 3 and charge the per term rate along with the term tuition, we charge the $218. So you might notice as you get costs from different state schools, there are lots of different fees, lots of nickel and diming of different fees. We try to avoid that because everything should be incorporated. Almost everything is incorporated into this per term tuition. Tuition is expensive enough, so we try and keep it that way with the exception of the enhancement fee. We do have the university health insurance. It is required for all students to have health insurance. Most students have insurance through their parents or through their parents' employer, and that is perfectly fine. We do need students to complete a health insurance waiver, which waives them out of the university plan. Right. So in this current year, the university health insurance is about $2,600 for the year. It's an excellent plan if the student doesn't have health insurance. But if a student does have health insurance, waiver. And so that will be on the fall billing statement. We charge upfront in the fall for the university health insurance if a student doesn't have health insurance. And then we also have another type of insurance. It's called tuition insurance. The doer's tuition insurance is a small $64 quarterly charge that insures the student's tuition if a student needs to withdraw from the term during a period of time where they don't receive tuition refund. The students, 80% of the student's tuition will be refunded back to the family if a student needs to withdraw from medical or mental health reasons. So any university, again, as you're researching universities, you'll hear not only about the FERPA regulation, but the university health insurance and many times the tuition insurance as well. Billing is chronically. We don't mail bills home. Everything is online and reminders are sent through email. So this authorized payer access that I spoke of earlier, it's critical that students set up their parents as authorized payers so that parents can receive the email reminders. Students are considered adults and they are the student enrolled in the university. So we send all email reminders to students, but we realize that especially when it comes to money, parents are helping. So we want parents to be involved. We are just, our hands are a bit tied by these FERPA regulations. So we ask that students authorize their parents to be set up as authorized payers, and we can answer some questions later about that. And more information, of course, will be coming after May 1st. The FERPA release and authorized payers are two separate permissions. The student does need to authorize us to allow both. There are two separate but equally important authorizations that we ask the student to set up. This is a sample bill, which we're going to go into in just a minute. What I'd like to do now is take a look at some estimated costs. So here in blue, I've broken this down by quarter. So you can see the estimated tuition and room and board housing for on campus. So this is what the high majority of first year students will be looking at a cost scenario close to this one here that's in blue. For the rare student that lives locally and has been approved to live at home, obviously this calculation does not include on-campus room and board. And then this top scenario here has the preferred meal plan. So this standard residence hall cost is just a bit higher than this scenario here, 5704. And that's simply because the preferred meal plan has a little bit more money on the plan for students who need that. But we find that most students are fine with just the basic meal plan. They will be They will have information on their phones where they can just scan their phone anytime they go into any of our dining halls where they can eat and use their points. So again, we've broken this down by quarter, so you can see the full-time tuition rate per quarter, $18,960, plus our $218 enhancement fee, plus our standard room and board per quarter. And again, this is the standard double where one student lives with one other roommate. So there's two in a residence hall with the basic meal plan.
Excuse me, are you supposed to be sharing something, because I don't see anything.
You don't see anything on the screen. Thank you so much. I appreciate you updating. Let me see if I can try sharing my screen once again. Bear with me just a minute. Is that better?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I apologize for that. I'm talking away and you're not seeing anything. So just in order to catch up a bit, I'm speaking about this area in the blue. And this will show the per quarter. Again, this is broken down by quarter. So everything here would need to be multiplied by 3 to get annual costs. So we bill 3 times a year, once in August, once in December, and once in March. And this is essentially the costs that you will see on each billing statement. And then we will incorporate the financial aid to reduce this quarterly balance. And so over here on the side, we see the additional fees that will only be in the fall quarter. We have an orientation fee and the health insurance fee. If a student does not have health insurance, there will be approximately $2,600 charge in addition to the tuition and room and board. For once you make your deposits, we ask students to make a $500 admission deposit to hold their spot in our class, and then a $500 housing deposit. Both of these are due May 1st. This credit of $1,000 will go towards the first fall billing statement in August. So this is not money that's lost. We hang on to it as the deposit, and it goes towards the first billing statement that is in August. A little bit more about meal plans. The basic meal plan costs $1,859, and that is incorporated into this cost over here on the left. The preferred plan is incorporated into this cost up on the top here. So let's go ahead and take a look at a sample bill. And please let me know if, can everyone see my screen? Is everyone looking at the sample bill? Okay, very good, thank you. So this is what the billing statements are going to look like. We have the billing date. So this is an example of a December or a winter quarter billing date up at the top here. And we have the statement activity and then the anticipated financial aid. So this is a quick snapshot up at the top and the detail is down below. So we have all of the statement activity here. We have a tuition charge. These are obviously last year's rates. Tuition charge, the university enhancement fee, any other charges like room and board for the quarter will go here. And then you'll see the student's anticipated financial aid. So this is from the financial aid award that the student received. And all of the grants and scholarships from not only Santa Clara University, but from the federal and state aid will go here. And then the total amount due is the statement activity minus the financial aid is the total amount due by the due date of December 21st in this situation. And again, we have billing deadlines. We bill on the 1st, and the due date is always the 21st of the same month. So in the fall, we will create a billing statement and send you an email reminder on August 1st. And the August 21st is the due date. We do have payment plan options where you can split the payments into 3 months as opposed to making one lump sum payment on August 21st. The same with our payment due date for the winter term, which is we bill on December 1st with a due date of December 21st. And the spring term, we bill on March 1st with a due date of March 21st. Ways to pay. There are many different ways to pay. You can still mail us a check to our PO box. Our SCU pay site is our online payment process where when parents are set up as authorized payers, they can log in to the site, view the bill, and make payment online through a checking account. Please note at the bottom, the university does not take credit cards or debit cards of any kind for tuition and fees. Payments are all through the checking account, or you can write a check and mail it. International students have a wire transfer option through a company called Flywire. We do take payments in our office if students are local and they want to drop off a check. And then, of course, the 529 college savings accounts, those checks are mailed to us. We don't have an electronic process to get those checks, but the family will initiate the payment through the 529 company on the 1st of the month when the bill comes out. And then the 529 company will mail us a check at some point within the next 21 days. A little bit about our payment plan. This is an option where payments are set up to pay monthly instead of the quarterly option for August, December, and March. Our contact information is here. And let's take a look at any questions in the chat. And then we can move forward. So let's see. University fees. Yeah, I'm so sorry about the screen. The university fees, we can go back to that real quick. And this shows the fees that we will be charging in the 22-23 academic year. And then I will also go back to the payment plan screen as well so that you can capture that information as well. This presentation is being recorded, so you can definitely access it at a later date, and then feel free to take photos with your phone of any of these pages as needed as well. Let's see if we have additional questions. If someone wants to pay your fees from an international location, can they do a bank transfer to SCU? Yes, we use a company called Flywire, and it is a less expensive form of a wire transfer. So anyone can pay from an international bank. The information gets, the funds get directly deposited into the student's Santa Clara University account to cover tuition. So it does not have to go to a US bank first, and then you make the transfer. Any Flywire payments from international banks go directly to the student's account. We don't know the projected increase in the tuition each year. I do know from 2021 to 2022, The increase in tuition was about 3.5%, but our Board of Trustees meets every year to go over that. So an approximate amount would be maybe an average of 3% if you're interested in doing the math. That was one of the questions here. If there are, we do have a few minutes left. I do not have any meetings after this. So if anyone wants to stay on, I'm happy to stay on a little bit after 4, but I know there's lots going on with other presentations. If anyone has any questions, feel free to unmute and I'm happy to answer your questions before the session is over. There is a question about scholarships. Do the scholarships offered increase with tuition? And the answer is no. That's a great question. Student scholarships that are awarded now are automatically renewed each year for 4 years at the same amount. So they are not increased with the cost of tuition, with the exception of 2 scholarships. They're very our top merit scholarships are tied to tuition. So our presidential scholarship is full tuition and our provost scholarship is half tuition. So those 2 scholarships do increase with the cost of tuition. All other scholarships, while they are automatically renewed at the same, each year for 4 years, they are renewed at the same amount as the initial award. If students opt out of the health insurance and the doer's tuition insurance, when will those credits show on the student account? Great question. If students opt out of health insurance soon enough, meaning in the summer, they will never see the charge on their fall billing statement. But if you do see the doer's tuition charge and the health insurance charge, you do have until right shortly before school starts to complete the waiver, and then the charges will be reversed from the student account within just a couple business days. And that is, that way you won't have to pay that amount. How does interest work with an unsubsidized loan? Loans are optional and we offer them to students who've completed the FAFSA application, and interest accrues on an unsubsidized loan during the time from when the student borrows the loan all the way through school, through graduation, and then during repayment. So an unsubsidized loan does accrue interest while the student is in school. No payments are required while the student's in school, but the interest will continue to capitalize. Students can always make payments, or parents can make payments on the student's behalf. If you want to keep up on the interest and pay it while the student's in school, so that when they graduate, they only have the principal balance left over. So there's lots of payment options for loans, and we can go over those in detail. If anyone is welcome to email our office or call our office. But there is no payment required while the student is in school. If a student has another health insurance, can he or she use the Cowell Health Center? Absolutely. So the health insurance that a student has already can be used. The student can visit our on-campus health center and use that insurance. And then if needed, there are, of course, local hospitals that will use the student's insurance as well. The health insurance waiver is located on our Cowell Health Center website. Actually, if you can still see my screen, you'll see the waiver website is here, scu.edu/Cowell/insurance. And the waiver is not open yet, but we will be sending many, many email reminders over the summer so that students know that they can waive. How do we access and apply for subsidized and unsubsidized loans that were listed on the financial aid award offer? Through the student's eCampus portal, there's an option to accept or decline the student loans. And if you're having difficulty accessing that or viewing it, the One Stop Office staff is happy to help. Let's see if we can get to our contact information here. And you're welcome to jot down this information and give us a call, send us an email. We are happy to help with any troubleshooting with the system. The 3-month payment plan dates are monthly, starting in August. You would enroll in the payment plan. It's a 3-month payment plan. You would enroll in August online through your authorized payer portal. And payments would be made in August and then September and October 15th. And then you would re-enroll in the 3-month payment plan again in December for the winter quarter and make payments in December, January, and February. And then for the spring quarter in March, you would enroll once again 3 times a year and pay in March, April, and May. Let's see, what does FERPA stand for? That is the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act. It's a federal regulation stating that students are adults and they have a right to their own privacy, and they have to authorize anyone else to receive information or details on their accounts. We are over the time. It's 4:02. I'm happy to stay on if anyone is wanting to unmute and ask any questions. I'm happy to answer. If anyone needs to see a specific screen that maybe went by too quickly, I'm happy to move, but this is our contact information here. And again, my name is Trista. I'm happy to help. My staff is happy to help anytime.
I just have one question. So the 3-month payment plan, is it divided equally or do we need to pay extra for that?
It is divided equally. We will take all costs based on the billing statement and divide by 3. And there is a $40 enrollment fee to enroll in the payment plan. That is added to the first payment. So the August payment will be the entire cost divided by 3 plus $40, and then the September and October payments will be the other 2/3.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Students will be sent an email saying that their August bill is available. Yes, we will send email reminders on the 1st of every month to let students and any authorized payers know that billing statements are available to view. And then the student is able to log on to their portal and the authorized payer can log on to their portal. The slide before this one, I'm hoping this is the information that's needed. It's about the payment plan. The $40 fee for the payment plan is quarterly. So there will be another $40 fee when you re-enroll in December and a third $40 fee when you re-enroll in March. So there will be 3 fees total throughout the academic year for the payment plan. And you don't have to enroll every quarter, but if you want the payment plan, you do have to enroll every quarter. And the fall term starts on September, I believe it's the 19th. Is that the first Monday of that week? September 19th is the first day of the fall term. So August is, the bill is always due the month prior to school starting. So we bill in August and it's due in August, school starts in September. We bill in December, school starts in January for the winter quarter, and we bill in March and school starts in April for the spring quarter. Students will have access to their SCU email account after they make their admission deposit in May. So I believe at the beginning of June, students will start to receive information on how to create their SCU email address. So lots of things going on during the summer months to prepare students for the fall term. Any other questions? Feel free to send a message or unmute.
Hi, I have a quick question. Will this Zoom be posted anywhere?
Yes, it will be. It's being recorded, so you'll be able to find the information on our, I believe it's going to be on our admission preview days website. And it shouldn't be long before these are updated. So I'll be looked at within just a couple days. But on half of our admitted student website, there's information on preview days.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? We will have parent billing, a more in-depth parent billing webinar or Zoom presentation during the month of July. There will be a few different Zoom presentations that parents can join, and we will go into much more detail about how to read the bill and when to pay and get all of those specific questions answered. So this is just a very, very high overview. Any last minute questions before we stop the recording and say farewell? Wonderful. Okay, very good. Well, I thank you all for joining me today. And again, our one-stop contact information with regard to anything related to financial aid, registration, or billing, feel free to send us an email or give us a call. Thanks very much, and congratulations to all of you on your students being admitted to Santa Clara. We look forward to getting questions answered, and we hope to see all of the students here in September. Thanks so much.